An elephant stumbles upon the carcass of a rhino in a South African game reserve. It is as though this creature mourns the murder of the other. Like the elephant, the rhino has no predator in the African bush besides man. For centuries, these majestic creatures have fallen prey to man's greed, for trophies and for the mythical properties of their horn. Highly valued in the Far East and a staple of traditional Chinese medicine. Though conservationists are adamant that there's nothing in rhino horn that's beneficial to human health.
Yeah, rhino horn actually consists of two components, keratin and melanin. That's what it is. And it has been proven that there's no medicinal value whatsoever in rhino horn, scientifically.
But the continual slaughter would suggest that the Far East doesn't accept the science. The killing has moved south over the last few decades, almost driving the black rhino to extinction, and concentrating the white rhino population in South Africa, where park rangers are waging war on the poaching syndicates. This is the 7th rhino lost on the Pilanesberg Game Reserve this year. The autopsy is gruesome. Police ballistics experts sever the head in search of bullets, which may provide clues as to who did it.
Apparently you can tell from the way that this horn has been taken off the animal that it was probably shot and injured, left to die, and only a couple of weeks later did the poachers find it again, at which point they were literally able to knock the horn off the carcass.
Okay, because of the state of decomposition, there's a possibility that the scavengers may have pulled the bullet out. And so I'm just looking around here to see if we can pick up any metal.
Rusty Hustler runs the security in South Africa's Northwest National Parks. He has around 30 trackers to patrol 150,000 acres in the Pilanesberg Game Reserve. Like trying to find a needle in a haystack, he says, especially when many of the poachers have military backgrounds.
There are some South African citizens involved. There's illegal immigrants, Mozambicans, Zimbabweans. So it's a mixture. I think it's a throwback from the various wars that we've had around South Africa. That people have been trained in military tactics, and now that they've got nothing else to do, they carry it on this way, and it's quick money.
That's why private anti-poaching firms operate with full military discipline. These men are trained for a year before they're taken on full-time at the Nkwe Wildlife Security Firm. Only 1 in 8 make the grade.
It's very hard, it's very intense, so you need somebody who can handle it, who can take the brunt, and obviously has a love for compassion, and they enjoy what they're doing.
Scouts operate in pairs, living out in the bush for 15 days at a time, tracking the whereabouts of rhino and patrolling for poachers, whilst living amongst the most dangerous animals on Earth. So it's total military style life.
It has to be. The guys don't wash, this is how they live. Sleeping bag, they're not allowed to make fires, they cook on a little paraffin stove, so it's all very low key.
Do you like it?
Yep.
Well, that's lucky.
Is a typical snare what they would use for a rhino. It's big, it's thick, and they get it to right the rhino, and it will definitely be a mortality.
Root's team lay a mock ambush. Snares like this are a common poaching tactic, difficult to see in the undergrowth, and rhinos in any case have poor eyesight. Poachers often return to see whether they're in luck or to reset their snare. Our pretend poachers are immobilized, handcuffed, interrogated. You can be quite sure that when the poachers are real, it gets a lot rougher than this. Rude, as an ex-military man himself, believes this commando-style level of security is the only way. And he says he's never lost a rhino on the private game parks he looks after.
You know, if a guy's got a property and he's got a lot of rhino, he lives in the city, he's got state-of-the-art security, well, he must do the same for his rhino.
A rhino cow is worth some $40,000 to the farmers. Their horns are worth something similar to poachers, around $7,500 per kilogram at current black market rates. Some game owners have tried dehorning their rhinos to deter the poachers. But Fan Coetzee says dehorning isn't the answer.
Because now you've got 20 rhino on your farm, you dehorn them all and you sit with 40 rhino on in your possession, and that's exactly what the rhino poachers are after. And they've got rifles. They will come to your house and get it from you, either kill you or they will take it from you.
South Africa is losing a rhino every day to the poacher's rifle. But the battle to protect this species begins on the medicine shelf. China has used powdered rhino horn in its medicines for 2,000 years. African gamekeepers can only do so much to change the culture of faraway nations. Diana Magne, CNN, Northwest Province, South Africa.